Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to use Photoshop's type tool, so how to add text to your documents. So here I've got a blank A4 piece of paper. The type tool is located here, it's with a big T. If you right mouse click, you'll see that there are actually 4 different kinds of type tool. We're just going to work on the horizontal type tool for the moment. So the way that I work with this is, with the type tool, I never click and drag out an area, because if you click and drag out an area, your text is constrained and restricted to that area. Well, that might be okay if you're designing sort of the look of a web page and you've got text areas on the page and you need to drag out a defined area for the text. But in most cases you wouldn't drag out an area. I don't like that. So instead I pick up the type tool and I just click once and it's ready to type. So I'm just going to type in here some text. And at the moment it says Photoshop. So the way that I always treat it is I type it and then I tick it. So you must always tick your text to accept what you've got there, because going and trying to change the color, trying to change the font style is not possible at the moment. So I always just tick it and then I transform it. You could come up here and choose a font size. So you could choose 60 point, 72 point, or you could type in any kind of font size that you want. But the way that I tend to work with font in Photoshop is, if I want to resize it, I do Control T, which is transform, and then I grab one of the corner handles and I just drag it out. And that allows me to resize my text, position it. Of course, I've got all the features of transform as well. I can rotate it, I can flip it, I can do all of those different kinds of things with it. Double click to apply the transform. Now you don't need to click on the text again. If you click on it, Photoshop thinks that you want to edit it. Okay, so I'm just going to tick that again to say that I accept it. I don't want to edit it. You don't need to highlight the text in Photoshop to be able to change the font. You can just click here and come and choose a different kind of font. So I can choose different fonts, or for example, if I wanted to, I could just click once here so it turns blue, use the up and down arrows on my keyboard and flip through a whole range of different kind of font styles. Changing the color, I can come over here and choose a different color. Color picker dialog box allows me to choose a nice color, so I can go for a blue there, and that's how I can apply text to my page. In terms of alignment of your text, these don't actually do anything unless you have text on more than one line. Currently we only have one line of text. Now when you created that text, Photoshop automatically created a type layer, so text always appears on its own separate piece of paper, separate layer, which is why we can move it around and rotate it and resize it without affecting the background layer as well. If you wanted to create another piece of text, then you could just come in here with the type tool and just click, and then you could just type again. So we just type in hello. I need to tick it and then Control T it to resize it, and you can see that I've got some text going on here as well. Now the great thing about these is that they're on 2 separate layers, which means that they work independently of each other. So if I go back to my type tool and change the color of this text, it won't change the color of the word Photoshop. So they're 2 separate layers, and I can resize them and rotate them separately as well. So that's a quick introduction to working with text. Pick up your type tool, click it. Once you've typed your text, always tick it and then use Control T to resize it, unless you have a specific font size that you must choose and select. Otherwise, Control T allows you to do all sorts of kinds of things in terms of resizing it. Remember, you don't have to highlight the text when you go to change the font style or the font color. Okay, only click on the text again if you've made a typing error or you want to edit or change the text.